Hello, my name is Ned, and I'm the host of BlackBoxOnlineRadio. Welcome to the Debunking series. On the weekends, I had been doing some of the AMAs, the Ask Me Anythings, where I respond to your questions and comments, and we can have a discussion, only because of time constraints. But a lot of people, multiple people in fact, were requesting a debunking episode on Jack Tarrance as a Zodiac killer suspect. And this is the first time I've done one of these debunking videos about someone whom I've never had a single episode devoted to in the past. Jack Tarrance is also someone that I said I would never do a suspect profile on, so I guess I'm breaking that rule because I didn't think that I would contribute anything noteworthy to the discussion, because I absolutely do not believe that Jack Tarrance was the Zodiac killer, and in fact, I think that it is somewhat of a rather flimsy case that has been presented against him. These claims come mostly from an individual named Dennis Kaufman, who was Jack Tarrance's stepson. If you've made it to this far-off corner of YouTube, perhaps you've seen the video clip from CBS News 13 that shows Dennis Kaufman saying that he went through a piece of sound equipment, pulled out some screws, and he found the Lake Berryessa hood that was worn by the Zodiac killer. The black hood with the Zodiac symbol on it, and that was a piece of evidence. He also found a bloody knife. He compared Jack Torrance's handwriting to the Zodiac killer's, and he thinks that they are very similar. He also says that Jack Torrance has the same facial similarities, or the same facial structure, rather, as the Zodiac killer composite sketch. And one of the stronger pieces of evidence that I thought was in Dennis Kaufman's presentation is that his family lived in South Lake Tahoe, California, Jack Tarrance, as well as his mother, Nora Kaufman. And this took place very close to the disappearance of Donna Lass. And they also had a family member who worked in the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino, which is across the California-Nevada border in State Line, Nevada, where Donna Lass worked. Now, it's important to remember, Donna Lass is an unconfirmed Zodiac killer victim, and if you would like to hear more about her, I do a regular segment on the disappearance of Donna Lass every Thursday here on this channel. You can always like and subscribe. Why not? But about Jack Torrance, I think that the point number one is, in this CBS 13 video, Dennis Kaufman is saying that he found a bloody knife, and maybe it was a knife that Jack Torrance was barbecuing with. Maybe it was a knife that he stabbed somebody with. He doesn't know. Point number one, he doesn't know. He just found a knife that had blood on it. Not knowing is not helpful. There's that saying that knowing is half the battle. He doesn't know. And there's actually an entire website that is devoted to this. It's on that old blog platform called Google Sites, but it's called simply Zodiac, not Jack Torrance. And they lay out all of these cases. And also, Jack Torrance became the suspect of a forensic document examiner named Nanette Bartow, who worked with Dennis Kaufman. And they put forward this whole thing about how he matches every single aspect of the profile. He's 5 feet 10.5 inches tall, and he weighed, according to this Zodiac killer, not Jack Torrance site, 240 pounds. Firstly, 240 pounds is not what the witness descriptions reported, or the foot impressions at Lake Berryessa. They reported somebody maybe 195 to 220 pounds thereabout. When I look at photos of Jack Torrance, though, I don't think he's that big. But what that debunking website was trying to do is saying, this guy, Dennis Kaufman, and this lady, Nanette Bartow, are just cherry-picking a little bit of this information from this witness description, cherry-picking a little bit of that information from that witness description, and they're trying to put it together to fudge the facts, to make it look like they have found the Zodiac killer. But when in reality, it's just that. They are fudging the facts to make it work. As far as actually discovering the Lake Berryessa hood in that piece of sound equipment, somebody just wrote out on YouTube that, number one, the hood that he found had a gold circle in the center of it, and it was described by Brian Hartnell at Lake Berryessa as being white, like a circle with a cross going through it, the Zodiac killer symbol. That one was gold that he found. The Lake Berryessa one, to the best of our knowledge, was white, if Brian Hartnell's memory serves correctly. And also, it appears to be drawn on, or it appears to be put on in a very rough way. And the Lake Berryessa description, once again, is sewn on 3 inches by 3 inches with care and precision. So that's another thing that is inaccurate. And I haven't examined this personally, but when I look at it, I can see something else. That's another observation that somebody made about how it lacks the rectangular shape at the top, and the hood is completely flat. And I do have to give credit to somebody who claims that they have. Mr. Parkerman6 on YouTube simply responded to the Zodiac Killer channel nonetheless, saying, "I saw this hood in person when Dennis shot an interview with the news at my house in Roseville, California. It was too new and clean looking to be the real hood. My cousin Dennis obviously planted it. He was a tweaker and did some shady things. Dennis died from diabetes, as did his mother." And I'm only sharing that thing about dying from diabetes because Dennis Kaufman said in that same CBS 13 interview, as well as talking to Aphrodite Jones and being everywhere on the internet, that he believed that his own mother, Nora Kaufman, was murdered by the Zodiac Killer, by Jack Tarrance, that they're all one and the same, and she was one of the lesser-known victims. But if it is true that this person is a cousin of Dennis Kaufman, who saw this thing firsthand, saying it's way too new to be the Zodiac Killer hood, I mean, I've saw it for myself on TV. It certainly did not have any blood on it. And there's also a book out on the subject called The World According to Jack Tarrance, The Real Zodiac Killer, Black Dahlia Avenger, Get Hoffa Squad Member, and more. And to read that description, when Dennis Kaufman was dealing with the aftermath of what he believed to be the murder of his mother, Nora Kaufman, circa 2000, a show came on about the cold case is known as the Zodiac Killer crimes, and he was convinced that his stepfather, Jack Tarrance, was also the person responsible for it, as well as being the man whom he believed killed his mother. From there, Dennis evolved into a long journey of dealing with FBI agents, message boards online, news agencies, and a stepfather trying to confess that he was the real Zodiac. FBI agents and forum boards, that's what it says, online boards, message boards. Yeah, FBI agents and message boards online. That's some real credibility right there. Those are the first two on the list. After Jack died, Dennis met forensic document examiner Nanette Bartow, whom, after 5 reports for the FBI, had claimed that she claimed that Jack had nailed the case and was the creator of the Zodiac letters. I ended up meeting both of them and doing my best with them to help prove that Jack Tarrance was the real Zodiac. And this was the book that is written by Harriet Sucher. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Sucher. It is impractical to immediately start connecting a Zodiac killer suspect to another crime spree based on conjecture alone. The World According to Jack Tarrance, The Real Zodiac Killer, Black Dahlia Avenger, Get Hoffa Squad Member, and more. Now, this isn't the strongest piece of debunking, but I often turn to Dr. Michael Barkin, who wrote the book A Culture of Conspiracy, when he says that when you begin to connect together 2 different major worldly events based on torturous reasoning alone, there's a lower likelihood of it being true. Probability is not on your side to say that this guy, Jack Tarrance, was also the Black Dahlia Avenger in the 1940s. I mean, at the time of 1968 and 69, when the canonical Zodiac crimes were taking place, according to that Jack Tarrance debunking website, Jack would have been in his early 40s, meaning 20 years earlier he would have been in his early 20s. Mathematically possible, except for the fact that was Jack Tarrance really a surgeon? Oh yeah, and he also keeps his barbecue knife around, which may have the blood of a murder victim, which might not. Well, which is it? Is this some guy with surgical precision, or is he just murdering people with a barbecue knife, whatever that is? I mean, which one is it, Dennis Kaufman? And I know Dennis Kaufman has passed away, but he can't answer these questions. The whole point is, it seems like a lot of people are doing that concept of feeling around for something in the dark, but they don't know what shape it is, so they're just grabbing at anything, and then they're trying to force the narrative on this particular suspect. And that's why I haven't wanted to talk about Jack Tarrance in the past, because I do not believe that there is anything substantial. To recap, they found blood on a knife, don't know where it's from. Well, how is that evidence of anything? The FBI has had numerous opportunities to look at his handwriting, to look at anything that has been submitted. It's all inconclusive. That's not anything that he can use to his advantage. And as I said, Dennis Kaufman has passed away. This would be to people like Harriet Suker or so on to continue this message. Not only is it unconfirmed that he was the Zodiac killer, unconfirmed that he abducted Donna Lass, unconfirmed that he was the Black Dahlia Avenger, now they're going to connect him to Jimmy Hoffa. Sounds like some people are just trying to either sell books or what Dennis Kaufman was actually accused of. Trying to get his 15 minutes of fame. And if it is true, what his cousin says here, that the hood is way too neat, it was definitely way too new. Dennis had a history of doing similar things and messing around a little bit. I don't see an ounce of credibility in this story at all, but feel free to disagree with me. You can put your ideas in the comment section down below. And as you heard, this was one that was requested by numerous people, giving a shout out to the Creepypasta, who recommended this one most recently. If there's a Zodiac killer suspect that you would like to hear about on this channel, then I also agree that there's no chance that this guy had anything to do with the Zodiac killer mystery. You can put your ideas in the comment section down below, but I will try to get to it in the near future. I've been doing a lot of the AMAs on the weekends because of time constraints, but I would like to do more with the Zodiac debunking series in the near future. If there's anyone that you'd like to hear about, you can make a recommendation and we can talk about it in the comments down below. But what do you think about Jack Tarrance? Do you think that there's anything substantial about this guy? The only thing that I see that they actually have put forward is some facial similarities to the composite sketch, except he has a very, very different nose shape. Maybe you can see in the thumbnail of the video, so that's also a strike against him. But what do you think? And that's all for me now. I will see you on Instagram for the bonus podcast. Also, Zodiac Killer Mondays here on BBOR every single Monday. And Donna Lass is covered on Thursdays and Fridays, and Anything Goes segment where any subject is fair game. BlackBoxNet88 on Instagram. See you there for the bonus podcast. Until next time.